Well, good evening to one and all, to Keeping It Real with Mary and Friends. I'm sure you've missed me. I've missed you too. And we have to ring in the new year with best wishes to all and the fact that we have just finished our general elections in Barbados and we spoke about the winning of the present Prime Minister, Mia Amor Mort. We also want to recognize that it is Black History Month, which is recognized in the US, and here in Barbados, we recognize it as African Awareness Month. It's very important for those individuals who live here in Barbados, and we tend to recognize by dressing up in African wear, trying to do foods and all those things to reconnect with our heritage, as they would say, from Africa. So, something that I find that is quite interesting is that there are specific sounds that can reflect things regarding Africanism. They talk about slaves and how they were brought from Africa and how they endured many things on the islands, not only just here in Barbados, but across the Caribbean on a whole. Of course, most of the islands were populated by a different ethnic group, which would be the Baracoids, the Caribs, and the Arawaks. Of course, Barbados was populated by Arawaks, which were quite docile, quiet people. And the reasoning behind bringing in the Africans was in the 17th century, if we really had to check our history, we would see that the Europeans, the British of course, were starting to take over lands which they considered to be theirs and claim for the crown, so to speak. So in doing so, Barbados was one of the islands. And they went as far as South America to even introduce sugarcane because when they came to Barbados, they were trying to grow various crops, excuse me, which they would have brought from, their home. And of course, being that they came from a cold climate, different climate, they realized, well, no, this isn't working for us. We got to find something else. And at the same time, there were some countries that were using indentured servants, white indentured servants, who after 5, 7 years would have owned land and stuff like that. Um, I think you have to check your history books to see what that is all about. At the end of the day, when we think of Africa, we think of huts, we think of the lashes going across our back, we think about the endurance, we think about how they treated us in those times. What a way to remember African Awareness Month. And how did we come out of that? We talk about the 1937 riots with Busser. We talk about Clement Payne, who stood up for the rights of the blacks, and he was from Trinidad. When you really look at history, we have to take the time to truly depict and think how far we have come. But there's a there's a particular song that I introduced to my daughter, and it talks about four women. Who was this song written by? It was written by an American named Nina Simone. Yes, Nina Simone. Let me see. Um, Give you a little history about Nina Simone, where she would have, excuse me, she she was a writer, a jazz singer, a composer, pianist, and for women. This song was released in 1966, on her album called Wild is in the Wind. It really depicts the story of four different African American women. Each of these four characters represents an African American stereotype in society. Funny enough, Tulani Davis of the Village Voice called the song an instantly accessible analysis of the damning legacy of slavery. And when you really take the time to listen to this song, it, let me tell you, really makes you think. Now, of course, you know they don't have the rights to this song, so it's basically for you to try and listen to hear what it's all about. And I wanted to take it away from you. Take the opportunity to really listen to the words.
Kelly Price and Jill Scott.
My skin is black. My arms are long. My hair is woolly and my back is strong. Strong enough to take the pain inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. Sarah. My skin is yellow. My hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong. Yeah. My father was rich and wide. He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name's Saffronia. Saffronia. My skin is tanned, my hair is fine. My mouth like wine. Who's the little girl in mine? Anyone who has money to buy, what do they call me? My name is Sweet Thing. they call me? Sarah. What do they call me? Sarah. What do they call me? Sweet thing. What do they call me? My name is Peaches. Yeah.
Wonderful rendition by Ladisi, Ambrosio, Kelly Price, and Jill Scott. And I hope you took the opportunity to listen to what it was saying. Now, why do we celebrate African Awareness Month here in Barbados? Um, Black History Month is celebrated not just for the significance of celebrating it in the month of February. February was selected by a gentleman by the name of Carter Goodwood Woodson. He's an American historian and publisher, and also the pioneer in African American history. His reasoning was all centered on its enormous significance in Black American history. First, it was the birth month of American President Abraham Lincoln and a gentleman by the name of Frederick Douglass. These two are historical figures who had a great impact on the Black population in the US. There were other noteworthy persons such as W.E.B. Du Bois. He was born in February 23, 1868. He was also a civil rights leader and co-founder of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which we all know as NAACP. Now, the 15th Amendment to the United States Constitution was passed on February the 3rd, which is today, in 1870. This gave the blacks the right to vote. And the first black senator was Miriam Rebels, who took office on February 25th, 1870. The NAACP, which was founded in New York on February 12th, 1909, and Malcolm X, who was a militant leader who promoted black nationalism and was shot and killed by a black Muslim, also February 21st, 1965. Although everything was started in the United States, Black History Month has been embraced by many black diasporas around the world, including here in the Caribbean and Barbados. It's a role that highlights the contributions of blacks within our history. Of course, Britain celebrates it in October, which coincides with the beginning of a new academic year and incorporates events that trend from August to November, which obviously they refer to it as Black Heritage Season. So, folks, taking a bit of history, note that throughout the month we'll be talking about African Awareness Month. Now, I'm coming to you today on two things. I won't be long. One of them is the fact that not only we in Barbados, but across the globe, we are trying to get back our footing. And we are fortunate in Barbados, not to have anything mandated on the citizens of Barbados. Our Prime Minister has afforded the people of Barbados the option to choose from 5 different vaccines. Your choice to take it or not. It's your body, it's your thoughts, it's your individuality to decide if to or not. No one should be out there telling you to go and get a vaccine. No one should be out there to tell you don't get the vaccine. It is a personal choice. The same way if you decide if you want to have sex or not, if you want to remain celibate or if you want to go there and have lots of children. That is your personal choice. Now, I came across an article, actual person who lives in Barbados, who particularly does the same type of streaming that a lot of Barbadians and everybody across the globe is doing. That is going on YouTube, streaming, and you're talking, you're debating, you're discussing certain things. But something that threw me back was this individual was advising people where and how you can purchase ivermectin, a drug that is prescribed by a vet. It is something that you give to animals. I don't know. But if I recollect sometime way back, there was a discussion where the FDA in the US said that you should not be taking this drug to cure COVID-19. So she just aired it here on the 29th of January on a show called Week Show. And she was talking to a Jamaican Canadian who was on his way to Ottawa with regards to the truckers who were going over and disputing the mandates that the Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau and his government is looking to implement. I have not been followed in full steam, so I cannot say much on it. What I can say is that, boy, Barbados, you are fortunate people. You are fortunate people. You're wondering what the Prime Minister is going to do next, what her cabinet is going to do next. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be open officially with the ceremony with the new Republic President, Dame Sandra Mason, going up and having her speech. And of course, most persons will be following that live on television or on YouTube at 9:30. So persons across the globe will be following it. Aren't we fortunate people? We can go to the supermarket, keeping our COVID-19 protocols in place. We wear our masks, we sanitize. When we get home, most of us throw off our clothes and put them in the wash, have a bath, and put on fresh clothes. Yes, we are frustrated that the children are not back in school. The government is looking at the way and how to phase the children back into school. Like every other parent, I'm frustrated with that as well. But we are alive though. Most of us are 6 feet above surface. Our numbers have increased with positive cases. We've gone from 4 back to 600 plus. It was stated that it was expected. The Prime Minister and the Ministry of Health and Welfare staff stated that when Omicron comes, it will come. It is unavoidable and expect it to come. Persons are still being asked by choice to come and take the vaccination. Dr. Ferdinand has explained that they're looking for the drug to come in, etc. So I don't understand why would this individual go streaming with someone who is from Canada to tell you how and where you can get this ivermectin to take. And they also tell you what to take it with, vitamin C and D. Ivermectin is an anti-parasitic drug. It was discovered in 1975 and is used in veterinary medicine to prevent and treat heartworm and aparisis. It is stated that the drug is used for human consumption for persons who suffer with lice. Now, I was at a total loss in trying to comprehend why any person in the right mind would tell the brother or sister, go and take ivermectin or ivermectin for COVID-19. You could as well go and drink the Clorox because, as far as I'm concerned, it just ain't making no sense to me. And mind you, let me also add fuel to the fire. When you have individuals who want to live and enjoy a better life in beautiful Barbados, I think they have to be very wary of what they say. You have the right of speech, but sometimes when you have the right of speech, you have to be very, very careful of what you say so as not for it to come back at you to haunt you, because it's going to be thrown back at you, not intentionally, but in a way that you will not like. That is the truth. And I'm saying that it is very, very sad. I would not encourage, no, I would not encourage anyone to tell them, go and take this thing, go and buy it online. You're going to get it shipped directly to your house. He's a madman. Huh? You got to be a madman. That don't make no sense. Now, listen to this one and listen to the man carefully. And I ain't going to say no more about it. Just listen to it. And you tell me what you think.
Ivermectin that you see in the feed store is for animals, not for human consumption. It says it on the bottle.
It should be that simple.
Normally, this is full of ivermectin injectable. Oh, there's nothing here, nothing at all.
Matt Meredith can't keep ivermectin in stock at his 731 farm store in Burleson.
It's for deworming cattle, deworming horses.
But people have started taking it to treat or prevent COVID-19, despite an FDA warning titled, Why You Should Not Use Ivermectin to Treat or Prevent COVID-19.
I've never seen anything like this. Even through swine flu and all that, nothing like this.
So some of the most common effects that you can see with ivermectin are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea.
Liz Petty is at the North Texas Poison Center and says they've gotten 52 poisoning calls for ivermectin this year, compared to 6 by this time last year. And Petty says it's likely underreported.
It definitely could potentially spiral out of control if the misinformation still continues to circulate out in the public.
And she's worried because stores across North Texas are sold out.
Nobody's got it. You can't even order it online. I usually have ivermectin here.
Meredith can't get it for customers who need it for livestock. Those who don't often ask strange questions like suggested dosages.
Okay, dosage rates for what? This is for livestock. I mean, one tube will treat a 1,250-pound horse.
While ivermectin is hard to find, can cost $30 a bottle, and is poisoning people, the FDA-approved Pfizer vaccine is free and available at several locations just 5 minutes up the road.
It just astounds me how the lengths that people will go to.
There is a human version of the product, but it's not approved to treat COVID-19 because there's no evidence it helps.
It's for livestock. We're not livestock. This is from the FDA. I posted this.
It should be that simple, but Meredith has little hope his sign will make a difference.
People are going to do what they want to do anyway.
In Burleson, I'm William Jordan.
Well, let me tell you, You hear what the man say? It is for livestock. Livestock. Cattle. So be very wary of how people are misinforming you about things to take that are not for you. Be very wary of how people are being misinformed and misinforming you, the public, with the wrong information. Let me clearly state that no person who is not of medical training should be stating to you what you should take and not to take the injection because the claimant is it has biochemicals, it has all kinds of things. I will reiterate and I will state it again. Please speak to your general practitioner, your doctor, whom you go to or should go to on a yearly basis to get your yearly checkup. Ask them all the questions you want to ask them. It still goes back to the time when you ask them if sex rough, what to do when it gets sore. Speak to your doctor. Do not listen to misinformation. So I would advise individuals who are unsure of what to do in terms to go forward. Remember, this country, beautiful Barbados, has afforded its citizens a choice. The Prime Minister has already stated on several occasions she will not be mandating vaccines. They're still in talks of safe zones, business companies and stuff like that. Don't want safe zones. Some people don't mind them. Whatever it is, we will take the opportunity to listen and hear what the government has to say. We, the people, have put them back. There's a reason behind why they're there. So be very wary of how you decide to live your life and let it be by the grace of God who guides you in your decisions. Enough about ivermectin. Ivermectin. That had me riled, and I just didn't think that it was appropriate for someone to be recommending a drug that cannot be used in the manner in which it is being propaganded on a streaming program. Rubbish. Now, let's talk about my favorite sport. We have been knocking the West Indies team, going and coming, going and coming. Fire in Babylon. I recommend you watch that. Now, being a liberal such as myself, I think people have to take a back seat and realize that they have to sit back and let things progress. We are not in the field and we are not in the locker room. Let me congratulate the team in their game of winning 3-2 against England. They did wonderful, magnificent, and to note that it was done in the Mecca. I tell you, Barbados, sweet, in the Mecca of the Caribbean. Legendary Kensington Oval. And for a young Barbadian West Indian player to get not just a hat trick, a beaver trick. 4 wickets in 1 over. First ball was a no ball. The fella didn't even know he had the fourth wicket. Huh? No, God, take it like it's in everybody that could bowl as good as Jason Holder or Malcolm Marshall or Joel Garner We can never replicate another Jordana, another Michael Jordan. We can't get back another Lara. No, allow these gentlemen to be themselves. They are now creating themselves within the game, be it fielding, be it bowling, be it batting, or all three. These young men have to be permitted to grow. You will fall on bust your teeth and it fall out your mouth. Hmm? You will fall out the apple tree and break your arm. Hmm? Tell me, tell me now. I am not a cricket analysis person. I have good friends in cricket. My buddy Pedro Ergard, even Pedro Collins, Mr. Ian Bradshaw, all the boys. My thing for me is I thank them for carrying us West Indies on their arms and represent us across the globe. Because you sure as hell can't get on a plane to go to North Dubai, to go to North India, not even to see the Maharaj. Hmm? These fellas are working. Some of them work for cricket alone and depend on the money from that. Had it not been for the ones before who went and played before, granted they had their issues, they had their problems, they were treated poorly. Fire in Babylon, I want you to watch it. See that it was not only the good old Sir Vivian Richards and Michael Holden and Jeffrey Dujon that had issues. Hmm? It took a lot for those individuals, especially at a time of racism. We talk about Black History Month, African Awareness Month. Hmm? Have we changed? Have we forgotten the journeys of these young men and legends? I'm not saying that we can't get vexed. Bowl a bad ball, the man gave you enough of the blues. Hmm? You hear the commentators. Man, you shouldn't, if you bowl wider, you would have reached out at the ball. If you bowl wide, you're going to give you a wide. That's an extra mark. Hmm? You know, I think it's about time. If we are renewing ourselves, it's a new year. I am not saying that I agree with how management may be taking its course. I am not there sitting in the boardroom because at the end of the day, we still have to go with whatever they give to us to perform and play for the West Indies. The West Indies comprises of various countries. Although the pickings aren't always what we expect or want, the West Indies represent us here in the Caribbean. Yes? Now, let's take a peek at the end of the fifth one day Betway that was played here at Kensington Oval and note the last over.
Good strike. Good. Could it be a hat trick? It is a hat trick, surely. Or they takes it.
The perseverance of the players. They put their best foot forward and came out on top. They played what we call a nail biting game. When they chose to bat, I said to myself from Saturday, I said, no, them fellas can't go back. They better don't go back at the end to chase the runs. Let me back first. I don't know if Fallon heard me or management. I hear everybody else. But that was a good choice. The only thing that had me confused was when you bring up Shepherd. We know Shepherd could bat, but I won't bring up Shepherd. That's what I tell you. We will get vexed and upset and try to understand the analogy of what they're trying to do. But we in there, so we gotta go with whatever they decide to do. Unfortunately, Shepherd six, and then he was out. I'm not saying the idea could not have worked, but the problem was spin. Shepherd can play, but they have to be able to play spin. And I don't think that they cannot play. I think they can, but they have to apply themselves and concentrate. And as most cricket fanatics would say, if they get the man in there, the opening batsman should be putting runs in the power play, which is up to 5 overs. Agreed. Yes. I agree with you. That's where the run should be. The fellas inside the circle hit the friggin' ball. Okay, yes. Understandable. But then we all had the problem with O'Dane Smith. He played 2 games, but he didn't get the ball too much in second. When you come back in third, propaganda, social media is not good. When I have the players lick up for six with a whole bunch of talk about this body and want this body. Sports Match came out saying that an agent approached the young man. They claim no name, no blame, no lock up. Now you got to take it easy. I tell y'all, let the thing play out. Let the thing play. You can imagine a captain got to come out and sing to winner. Huh? A commentator may know so that there was no need for it. He come out and sing to winner. Huh? He sing.
Good man dog, always keep a smile when they want me to frown.
Huh? He now have to come out and sing for y'all. I don't know if that was tenor or alto or soprano because I was still trying to figure out what he was doing because all I could do was laugh. Hmm? That's all I could do. And you know what he said? I agree with him. I am a supporter, I'm a fan. As I said, I'm being honest. I may not agree with everything that is decided on. When you take out somebody and bring in somebody, you're thinking in your mind, oh, why you don't bring in this body? Why? I mean, yes, some bad decisions have been made. Who doesn't make mistakes? They do make mistakes, they're only human. You know what I mean? And then to say that there was something wrong with the camp, nothing was wrong with the camp, not a thing.
Yes, I asked a question earlier today and compliment you guys included from the chat here. I thought we went out and we performed. We enjoy ourselves. That was our stage tonight, and every single one of you, from my side, so from the management, they said very, very, very well done. I'm very, very proud of each and every one.
That sounds like something wrong with the camp. That sounds like something wrong with the camp. Tell me now. Nothing is wrong with the camp. It's as if you and your husband had a little problem. The only way for you to deal with it is go in the bedroom and close the door and talk it out. Trash it out. Hmm? People, as their thing always say, people's, you guys need to relax. Remember I said, truthfully, some of the decisions that they make, we may not agree with. Very, very true. But we will not always agree with everything. We've made bad decisions in our own personal life, but we've had to pick up ourselves and go again. Now they're in India, about to play on the 6th of February. 3 members of the Indian team have come down with COVID. So them ain't going to play. Our fellas seem to have been tested and they're negative. Thank you, Jesus. We will wait and see who they come up with on the 6th of February. I think the game is 8 a.m. or 1:30. Just follow the media to find out exactly when they'll be playing. Continue to support our West Indies. Rally round the West Indies. Now, when we rally round the West Indies, it tells us, and I think you folks really, really have to look at the words, try to understand what the words really say, because it's a song that has a lot of meaning. And if you all don't really know what it means, let me tell you what it means. I want y'all to know. Just give me a minute. I can get the words to you. Because I don't think you all really listen. You all just sing rally, rally round the West Indies, and you sing that. Okay. It says, for 10 long years we ruled the cricket world. Now the rule seems coming to an end. But down here, just like a kink in the armor, is enough to lose a friend. Some of the old generals have retired and gone, and the runs don't come by as they did before. But when the Cousins go to the Philippines come, we've lost the battle, but yet we will win the war. As long as we rally round the West Indies, now and forever. Rally round the West Indies. Never say never. Pretty soon the runs are going to flow like water, bringing so much joy to every son and daughter. Say we're going to rise again like a raging fire. As the sun shines, you know we're going to take it higher. Way down under warrior falls, Michael Holden falls in the heat of the battle. Michael should have left long time ago. I heard an angry brother shout, Caribbean man, that is the root of our troubles. In these tiny theaters of conflict and confusion, better known as the Isles of the West Indies, we already know who brought us here and who created this confusion. So I'm begging my people, please, rally, rally round the West Indies. Now they're making restrictions and laws to spoil our beauty, but in the end we shall prevail. This is not from cricket, this thing going beyond the boundary. It's up to you and me to make sure thing. Soon we must take a side or be lost in the other. In a divided world that don't need island no more. Are we doomed forever to be at somebody's mercy? Little keys can open up mighty doors. Rally, rally round the West Indies. So folks, listen to that sound. Pen and sung by David Rudder. That gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. Because I really want you all to pay close attention to the song itself. Let me see if I can get it up here for you guys.
fault brought us here to this region. But through it all, we have risen above. Through our flannel nights, flashing their willow and leather, these keepers of the flame must feel our undying love. This Caribbean nation is rising fast, a sunbeam cutting through a clouded past. A passion fills the world like a raging
Fire.
As the sun shines, you know we can
Take it higher.
Let
Everybody
everybody's
raise.
Everybody give
Raise. Rally.
Rally round the West Indies, now and forever. Rally, rally round the West Indies, now and forever.
Folks, that's our anthem. Wherever we go in the world, that's the anthem of the West Indies team. And we implore you to rally around the men in the room. Whatever decisions are made for the game. Allow them to play and enjoy themselves. That's the important thing. So, come out on the 6th of February. I think that's the Sunday. Support our boys. And before we go, I've got a close friend of mine who's from the island of St. Lucia. And he tells it as it is. McNeil. Before we go, listen to this message.
Telling me, McNeil, you're so genuine. I wish more people would be as genuine as you are. I say to them, everyone is intrinsically genuine. It's just that people are afraid of being vulnerable. So they come across as a cat that have a lot of rage inside its system, or they come across as a mongoose that are ready to bite everyone that crosses its path. At the end of the day, we all have a genuine intrinsic nature. We were born out of a beautiful, lavish, energy abundant universe, okay, from a rich cosmic creator. So don't tell me some of us are greater and some of us are nothing. No. We all possess an intrinsic value and beauty that the infinite source God has given to us, right? So today I want to encourage you, be genuine and stop being afraid of expressing your true nature, your kindness, your good heart. Being kind doesn't mean that you're weak. Being kind means I am able to relate with other people. I'm humble enough to realize I'm part of the human spectrum and that everybody is equal in the sense of we all look at the same sun, we take our fresh air from the same atmosphere, we all are sharing this earth together. However, I have my contribution to make while you have your contribution to make, and I will not dwell on pettiness, because those are people who thrive on pettiness always get destroyed eventually. Those who thrive on being petty and catty and always, and being living in jealousy always fall down. It gives you no good rewards. But when you're genuine and you're kind and you are real and you respect yourself first and you respect other people, people start to respect you. I once asked my inner being, how do I deal with the people around me? It's a question I always ask when I start getting flustered and frustrated. And the answer that keeps on coming every time is love. What is love? Is it a weakness or a meekness? No, love is the vibration that keeps this universe together. It's a pure positive energy flowing everywhere from within you and around you. When you begin to act from it and live from love, it means you have respect for yourself, love for yourself. You're able to love others. You're able to put out confidence in yourself, which actually emits to others and they give it back to you. And I'll tell you what, when you really love, you're not weak. Love knows how to be like, hi darling, how are you doing today? You look really good. Oh, you look grand. Oh bro, I love the way you're dressed. This is love. All right.
McNeil really tells it as it is. And you really, really need to take the opportunity to follow him. McNeil Griffith, he's a solution, is a dear friend of mine. And I always follow him. I listen to what he has. He gives a lot of good advice. So, folks, I implore you, he's asking you to be humble, love yourself, respect yourself. Yeah?
Be genuine and thrive in life.
Be genuine and thrive in life. So, folks, remember to follow Keeping It Real with Mary. You simply go to the Facebook page, like, or you can go to YouTube, like, click the notification button, and remember to subscribe. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Invite your friends to subscribe because we don't only just talk about cricket, vaccines, we talk about everything. Of course, we're going to be having a special program coming up. I'm still working on that, but as soon as I get those details up, I'll send it to you. We're going to be having some new guests coming on who will be coming on to talk about their various, journeys about themselves and that kind of stuff. So don't be left out. I know you haven't seen me quite often, but don't be surprised. The reason why I am working on quite a lot of things that I want to bring to the forefront and have the opportunity to talk about. So remember, wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, and be kind. Remember to call a friend, tell them how much you love them, how much you care. Always be kind to your friends. It was a pleasure being here with you. I'm sure a lot of you are looking forward to see what I have up my sleeve. So remember, keeping it real with Mary and friends. See you soon. Bye.